Alright, hello everybody, it's your boy Kerry. Welcome to another video. So today is about videos about the payout I processed two payouts today, with one with ACG, one with FundingPips. 25k account. I told you guys I was down last week 5%. Managed to get out of break even. Like I told you guys, I'll definitely be happy if I just get one good setup. You see my previous video, I actually took a 4-hour trade, got out of the drawdown, was like less than 1%, right? But yesterday I fumbled, in the sense that yesterday was my payout date with FundingPips. They had a rule I never knew about, which I'm going to be explaining in a bit. But then because of that, I thought otherwise and tried to force setups yesterday, which ended up like losing me 2%. But the good thing is I managed to get out of the trade the drawdown and secure the payout. So let's get right into it. Okay, so what happened yesterday was my payout date with FundingPips, right? But then, unlike FundingPips, other firms, when you miss your payout date, you have to wait for another bi-weekly cycle, right? Meaning you have to wait for another 2 weeks before you process any withdrawal. So I was like, you know what, let me just take this trade as so and go. And it was a good setup, but you just want to lose when price will come, snipe your stop loss, and yeah. So that's what actually happened yesterday. Took the setup on gold, right? I'm going to be transparent with you guys. I'll explain everything. So if we turn over the camera, right, you'll see right here, this was gold. During the New York session. Price came, took out the London highs, right? I was expecting a drop on gold. Gold was heavily bearish yesterday. You can see this, my indicator of mine. This indicator of mine was signaling most time frames were bearish except for the 15 minutes, as you can see right here. But then what happened is, coming here, I legit shouldn't have been today yesterday doing the Asia. I was like trying to force this. I don't, like I said, I don't usually like gaps that are too small like this, because clearly there's a 15-minute fair value gap right here, right? But I don't like gaps that are too small. I prefer gaps like this that are bigger, right? But then I was just legit forcing the trade because I took it only on my live account. Why? Because I knew that even if it was a loss, I was still going to use the next 2 weeks to recover the losses, and I was quite confident in myself. So yeah, I took my entry right there. Stop loss usually at the high right here, body closure. Yes, my stop was somewhere around here, right? And I was targeting these lows right here for a 3 weeks to reward. But then what happened? Keeping in mind that we also have this reaction right here, this 15-minute reaction, and price was already down for like 2%. I think price was already down like 2%. I was expecting price to maybe retrace up a bit, right, up to this inefficiency right here before we continue with our next leg. But see, this is why my setup usually brings out. I like to follow my entry model. Took the setup and it failed, right? Immediately it failed. I was like, let me just take a quick one, surely this buy is gonna hold. Then I tried taking longs off this area, right? I think stops right here, just so I could recover and even target like a 1% and process the withdrawal that same day. You see what price did, right? Price came, stopped out this my initial entry right here. I tried to long gold, shift. As you can see, the shift here broke past this area. I was like, you know what, I fucked up, right? I fucked up. Yeah, price did initially play out. I would have secured maybe 2% yesterday if this setup never stopped me out, right? But then what happened? You can see this is the mess up I said I did. And coming over to my MT5, you can see this is it. If you just go this week, this is this week's account stats on the MT5. If you go over to the MT5, you'll see right here This these were the two setups I took yesterday, resulting in about a $500 loss, which is 2% of the account. But today I took a trade, made almost 4%, like almost 4%. So about 3 point, this was about a 3.90 something R, right? Almost 4% on this setup. Covered all the losses. I was down 3%, covered all the 3% loss, and I was up almost 1%. So I took this sale to like complete the 1% needed, because for FundingPips minimum withdrawal is 1%. Took this, completed. You can see the withdrawal right here, which I'll be explaining in a bit. But you can see everything. This way the setup right here, right? Took the sale, stopped me out. I was like, maybe this area right here is definitely holding. I took longs, like aggressive longs, just because I just wanted to secure the profit. I never wanted to like wait for 2 weeks. And yeah, shit happened. But if you can see the sale I took right here during Asia, right? For 1:4. Then this. Okay, and if I had like known about the rule, because for instance, Alpha Capital, Titan Capital, I've been funded to them. If you miss your payout cycle, right? If you miss a payout cycle, you're definitely going to wait for an extra 2 weeks again. But with FundingPips, if you miss your payout date, all of the dates ahead, you can withdraw as long as you make profits. I wasn't aware of that. I thought maybe they were like the same, because if I was aware of this, rule FundingPips have concerning their withdrawal, I wouldn't have even taken like the second setup I took. Right? Maybe even that first setup, because I wasn't really like okay with the setup. Because that's why I said I took it only on this my live account. I never took it on any of the evaluations, right? Because I was like, if I'm gonna wait 2 weeks, why should I just risk it? If it plays out, I'm gonna win. If it doesn't play out the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna use the 2 weeks to recover and potentially secure another profit, right? So that's why I took it. And with this, most of you guys out there starting your journey with FundingPips, be aware of this. If you're on a withdrawal date and you've not secured any profit, don't rush anything. Okay, don't rush anything. Just be like patient, stay wacko. The coming days ahead, any day you secure profit, you are still going to withdraw that same day. Then your next payout cycle is going to adjust according to the date when you withdraw. Because if you had to like place a $1 position right there, just so it's going to start my payout cycle for the next 2 weeks. Because FundingPips, unlike other firms that they have static cycles, this date after 2 weeks, this date, FundingPips doesn't work that way. And I'm going to explain this guy the trade breakdown for this, which passed my FundingPips account, Titan Capital accounts, Alpha Capital Group accounts, and QT funded account with this one beautiful 4-hour setup. I'm going to explain it to you guys in the next video. So if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel, support me, it keeps me going, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.